Hello everyone, it's nice to see you again. Today I would like to talk about PR in the creative industry when we are dealing with a crisis. Crisis is a very delicate situation. Crisis is could be formed as in a natural disaster. Could be also in the form of the technology crisis. It could be also in the form of confrontation or bad review for us toward the organization. Also, it's to be formed in the illness or organizational misdeeds. This could all consider as a crisis. If the organization facing those situations, we consider that the organization is in a crisis. Especially if the people start to realizing that there is something wrong with the organization. Before, I always teach my student, okay, if you see this kind of situation or you be in this kind of situation, but if the media is not yet involved, that means you are not yet in the point of the crisis. But now it's not anymore because of the technology and the movement of the social media and the fast way of receiving the information. This definition is not valid anymore because it's really impossible for us to conceal the fact. It's almost impossible that you're hiding the fact from the public. So whenever this kind of situation is happen, you need to start to react. You need to start to respond and dealing with the situation. So, how to managing a crisis? First of all and foremost, always get the fact. Before you pass the information, before you meet people, try to find the fact. Try to find the fact first. And what I want to say is real fact. So it's not only these people saying something to you and these people say something to you. It has to be a proof, because otherwise the information itself we cannot consider this as a fact because it's based on the opinion. So you really need to see the first-hand data to support the information, So it's not enough just to get only the word from the people. You have to see it. You have to, if necessary, you collect the preparing also the crisis team to give you constant data on the fact that you are toward the situation that you are facing. And you need to, in this situation, you also need to finalize or to determine what is the organization position in this crisis. The thing is, basically we have to remember when we are dealing with the crisis situation, basically the public need from the organization is only the response. How the organization respond to the situation. Because there sometimes, let's say, if you are dealing with the situation of the case of airplane crash, let's say like that. I don't want to talk about the brand here, but in this case, what the public actually wants to have from the organization is not okay. Of course, how many people dead and what is how to find the victim and the cause of the problem and stuff like that. But this is the portion or the domain of the authority to talk about this aspect. And you have to stick to the point, what is the public wants from the organization standpoint, which means the public needs to see how do you respond on the situation. Meaning, what is the next step? Meaning, if there's a situation on the crash, what is it then? What is the plan of the company? What is the plan of the airline toward the victim? What is the plan of the airline to help the victim, to find the victim, and deal with all the situation. That's what the public wants to see or know from the organization. That point is also you have to consider how the organization want to position yourself in the mind of your public. Because to determine you are wrong or right, it's not your problem, it's not your point, it's not your domain, it's the domain of the authority. But again, the public you have to be able to fit the information that the public wants to have, and then you have to create all the material to support this message that you want to pass it to the people. And if always contact first also your key audience. Who is your key audience? Let's say authority, or in that regard is also you have to also reach your customer and many other things that you need to be contacted when you are in the situation of crisis. Then don't always create or always try to execute what if planning that you already prepare. Every organization is always have the possibility to be in the situation of crisis. So we all need to create we call it what if situation, in order to anticipate whatever the situation is might happen in our organization. So in that situation, when we are really in the crisis situation, you need to activate what if planning that you already doing before, and then always set up the listening platform. Meaning, if you are try to create the hotline service, so you can always monitoring the message and monitoring the response to your audience. And always monitor, because every second it could be changing, so when you also, another thing that I need to add in here is when you want to deal with the press, never ever say that you are wrong, in the sense that because the situation is still under investigation, but you can and you have to apologize to the people for the situation that happened. Again, what I want to say is, it's not the point to decide it whether you are wrong. It's the authority domain to decide whether we are wrong or not. But we need to, and we need to show sympathy. We need to show respect. We need to show our sorry about the whole situation. That's what you can say to the public. And overall, what I want to say is always being careful whatever things you want to do in this delicate situation, because one small mistake could also create a very significant damage toward the organization standpoint. So always being careful and always avoiding the being emotional in or being rushed and harsh on reacting on the situation that you are facing. You are in the very delicate situation, so being much more aware on the logic aspect. I think that's what the last message I would like to tell you about how the PR in dealing the crisis situation. I hope you are enjoying my class, my session, and we see each other in the next session. Thank you.